Hi, my name is Asunta Goretsky, and I will be talking about my technology portfolio today in regards to what I've accomplished this summer and the ISTE overview of the standards. The standards are for educators are learner, leader, citizen, collaborator, designer, facilitator, and analyst. So to get into my class projects. First, we looked at Voki. Voki allows students and teachers alike to create avatars of animated characters. These avatars are unique in their strengths in that they are a way to gain the student's attention and add fun for the classroom. As far as weaknesses go, I worry about its value for high school students. I'm not sure that high schoolers would see it as much fun as sixth graders. Another would be is that I don't see much use for it in my classroom. What I possibly could use it for would be to introduce a new subject, make an announcement, or have students answer a question as an avatar for an exit ticket. When it comes to the standards, I see this as being used as designer. The teacher can personalize an avatar to a particular lesson to introduce it. For example, one could create an avatar that looks like George Washington to introduce the Revolutionary War. This could be given to those students that have just finished the previous unit's exam to listen to with headphones on while the others finish up. That same George Washington can ask them a question and they can design their own avatar to answer it. So this was my avatar, and you can see she can follow me around.
Hi everyone. My name is Emma Santagoretsky.
And she says a lot more, but you can answer questions and things like that with this one. So next, we looked at infographics. I chose to use the program Piktochart and the topic of social media in the classroom. This can be used in a teacher's lesson plans or even as I did, a tool for colleagues. You can basically use everything from text to graphics to charts to videos to present information. A strength and weakness of this tool is that everything can be put on one infographic. If we are not careful, it can look cluttered and your audience may miss the point altogether. At the same time, it has the ability to make projects look professional and is a different mode of presentation for students than just the normal PowerPoint presentation. I would use this in my classroom as a review of a particular subject for an exam, a display of classroom rules, and as an alternative for student presentations. This can also be placed in the designer standard. It can be personalized to a particular subject or audience, and the infographic can also be published so that students' work can be used as a learning tool for others. So I chose social media in the classroom. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? So this was mine, and I put statistics in. You can put quotes with a picture. You can put, I put a video in, and as always, you have to put the downsides of it as well as the pros of it. And at the end, you can look at your sources and check the student sources and see if they're using everything correctly. I have put Kahoot, Quizalize, and Socrative in the same slide because to save time for this presentation. So first we have Kahoot. Kahoot is a tool to use to engage students in the material while at the same time assessing who may need more help or if the topic needs a revamp for the entire class. And that goes the same with Quizalize and Socrative. A strength of this tool is that it engages students through games. Students love games, and this way they are learning about a particular subject. At the same time, we have to be careful with these types of apps because competition may hinder some students if they were to lose. If they were to lose, it could hurt their self-esteem for the subject at hand. I would use Kahoot in my classroom for pre-tests, chapter quizzes, and review lessons. Next is Quizalize. Quizalize is similar to Kahoot in that it is a classroom quiz game. This tool gives you real-time results of your students' knowledge in the subject. However, in order to track their progress, you have to pay a fee. Another con is that Quizalize is limited in question types. There's no option for open-ended questions. I would also use this for review quizzes and homework assignments. And lastly, my favorite, which is Socrative. I like this because you can use it online, or you can also use it as paper and pencil tests. It's another way to quiz or poll students in real time. Teachers can track the progress of their students over time, and this one has the ability to have short answer questions. Again, I would use this as for quizzes, a discussion starter, and checks for understanding while I'm teaching. All three of these fall into the category of analyst because they are essentially assessing students' knowledge over a particular subject. So this is my Kahoot survey that I created, Tech in the History Classroom. My audience was for other colleagues to get kind of a sense whether they use it in history, use technology in history classrooms. I made 4 questions. Do they use any of the following? And those were like smart boards, things like that. And when you do use the smart board, do you use it for a lecture? Do you use it for other things? What do you use Kahoot for? And do you utilize internet for primary sources? So people can go in and you can do player versus player or team versus team. I'll just click classic. After this ad, it'll come up with a pin for the students to put in, and the teacher can see everyone's progress through there. Then we have Socrative. Socrative is also, I like this one a lot better than the other ones. Civil War, as you can see, here are all my questions. This is the teacher's view, and it actually allows you to put an explanation in, which I find very useful, especially in history. Like, you may think that the Anaconda Plan was not the Union strategy or something like that. But you can go to launch, you can make it a quiz. So I want to start one, and then you can choose instant feedback, open navigation, and teacher paste. And you can click one of these and start it for your students. Lastly, we have Quizalize, and you go to zzIsh.com. It gives you a place to type in your student code, as I've already done so. VNZ2927, join my class. You pick, if your name's already on the list, you can pick your name. And then you start a quiz that I've made. So who was elected as President of the Confederacy? I know that's Jefferson Davis. Got it right. It's your score, your time, and you can go to the next question. Next, we have Google Forms. Google Forms can be utilized in multiple ways. It can be used as an assessment tool. It can be used to take a poll of the class while teaching a lesson, and even as a communication tool. Google Forms has the ability to be everything a teacher needs in one tool, not only with the students, but also with the parents. It also can be confusing, though, when using it as a tool for peer review, because the students may get confused on whose document is whose. Google has many add-ons so that this can help the learning process grow to a particular subject. I would utilize this in my classroom as a communication tool to my students and parents, for pre-testing, and even link it into a lecture for a poll or question. Multiple standards can be assigned to this tool. I see collaborator, facilitator, and analyst. As a collaborator, it allows the students and teachers to review each other's work. As a facilitator, it gives the students and teachers an alternative platform to communicate with each other, while the teacher oversees. Lastly, it can be used as an assessment tool for pre- and post-tests, as well as a check for understanding for the teacher during lectures. So this was my Civil War pre-assessment that I made with Google Forms. You can put the directions in there, so I made it clear in here that it was not going to be graded. Civil War pre-assessment to see where they're at. So the next project we looked at was rubrics in Rubistar. Rubistar helps you create rubrics. Educators can choose pre-made rubrics or design them from scratch. While it gives you a pre-made generated rubric, it doesn't include what a quality rubric is. It also, but at the same time, it also allows you to analyze where a group of students may be missing. So maybe they're not truly understanding the difference between primary and secondary sources. The teacher can go back there and look at it for the next project in order to explain that better. The standard for this tool is Analyst because the teachers can gather data based on the rubric about where students may need more help. This was a portion of my rubric that I screenshot, and I basically took different pieces of different rubrics and kind of meshed them together to fit the research report that they were doing on We Didn't Start the Fire. Screencast presentation. So Screencast-O-Matic is a tool that allows the teacher or student to present information via the computer. It can be used to record yourself, your screen, or both. I'm recording the screen through here, so I'm using it right now. This would be an enormous tool for substitutes. As a substitute myself, if a teacher would leave their lesson for the students while they're gone, it would make our lives 100 times more simpler. At the same time, the student loses out because they don't get the benefit on having the teacher physically there to ask questions to if they're confused about something. As stated, I would use this to leave lessons for my students. I would record my in-class lessons so that students could go back and review them and create projects so that students can present their own screencasts as practice for a live presentation. The standard that I see for this tool is Facilitator. The teacher is able to create lessons and give students a different way to present a project. So this was my screencast. Hello, my name is Asunta Goretsky. It's nice to finally, I guess, with air quotations, meet you all. Today I'm going to talk about... So the student can go on there and they can upload their presentation to YouTube. It's a very, very unique tool that I will take advantage of. Next, we have QR codes. QR codes allow the person to scan the code and then it will take them to a particular site or document. They can be extremely beneficial to communicate with parents and students, and even to guide students to a new subject via a scavenger hunt. However, not many people know what QR codes are and how to use them. I knew what they looked like, but I had never used them prior to this class. But now that I know, I will be using them in my classroom and outside my classroom. I would use QR codes for students to get classwork that they have missed while they were absent, a way for them to check their answers to quizzes and tests, and extend research topics. This tool can fall under Designer because creating and using QR codes is a unique way to engage the students instead of traditional ways. So I use the contact information and the CalU website QR codes that we designed for this class. Lastly, we looked at word clouds. Word clouds are just that. Clouds of words. This can be anything from describing one's personality to major speeches, as I have done here with the Gettysburg Address. The strengths of this tool involve the ability to essentially pop out key words and major themes about a subject. The strength of this tool, on the flip side, this can be confusing to a student seeing all these words jumbled into one blob, so to speak. I would use this in my class at the beginning of the year as a type of icebreaker to get the students to start talking, to help them brainstorm key topics for a research paper, and to check for understanding and comprehension of the week's lessons. The standard for this tool could be Designer. The teacher can make the word clouds, but also can engage students by having them create their own and explain it to the class. Lastly, we need to remind our students about copyright. It's a big deal, and students don't often understand it. Plagiarism is becoming more prevalent in society as technology expands. We need to make sure that we are not only obeying copyright laws, but also make sure that our students are aware of what it actually is. And these are my sources that I use via clip art, screenshots, and things like that. Thank you. I had a really awesome time in this class.